Ladies, do you struggle to relax and allow yourself to receive pleasure during sex? Do you have a kind of nagging sense that you ought to do more to please him in order to earn the right to all this pleasure? Or maybe you have a desire to feel more and you have this sense that there's a secret formula out there in which if you do more action or do more things or you be more or do more, somehow you're going to experience more pleasure and more bliss. For the sake of your joy and for your partner's joy, I'm begging you, please stop. The secret to your orgasmic bliss and his deepest pleasure is you learning not to do more, but to do less and to receive more. I learnt about this massive truth about human sexuality actually from men. When I started off as a sex coach, I worked primarily with men's sexuality, and time again, men would come to me and confide in me the same secret. And what they told me, I didn't see as a massive problem. I couldn't understand why it worried them or concerned them. But then I was raised a woman. I wasn't raised a man in a heavily patriarchal society with very narrow conventions and norms about what it is to be a real man, about what it is to be a man in our society. Now, this confession to me would start in the same way. They would say, I'm concerned, Camilla, and I think I may be the only man that feels this or who's maybe wired like this, which always made me smile because I knew what was coming next. And they'd continue and they'd say, the thing is, I get so much more satisfaction and pleasure and arousal from her pleasure, from her genuine, abandoned, ecstatic pleasure than I ever can from my own. And I heard this from every man, not an occasional man, every single man. To my mind, it was utterly wonderful and exactly how it should be, and it kind of awakened this truth within my bones. But these men were deeply insecure about what they saw as a fetish. They were so convinced that real men take from pleasure from women, that that it worried them that their pleasure, their main source of pleasure was what they could give. Their warped conditioning made them feel inadequate and less than real men for giving their true divine gift. And this deep conditioning goes both ways. So whilst men grow up with the knowledge of that sex is their entitlement, that sex is something they take from women, maybe in exchange for something like love or a ring or some commitment, but essentially the exchange is that they give something else in order to take the sex that they want to take, right? Women, by contrast, are conditioned into, I guess, the flip belief that sex is something men take from us, therefore sex is something that we give to them, and that our main task is to extract the best possible deal in exchange for our sex. But let me say this, holding out for a really big ring, or a white wedding, or the promise of lifelong commitment, this is not the path to either your joy or your happiness, and it's certainly not at all empowering. As a society, and you're going to hear me say this a lot over the years, we've got it all the wrong way around. The exciting news that sets male minds free and results in so much more joy for women is that the male energy is all about giving and the female energy is all about receiving. Like most women, I was raised to believe that my role in sex was to please and delight men. And I used to feel so much guilt when I to my mind, selfishly lay back and received so much undiluted attention and pleasure to my body. I would try to keep an eye on the clock to make sure that I reciprocated and gave enough attention to his body. But often it just felt so good, and I just wanted to surrender to all the sensations and the bliss and ride those waves of pleasure and orgasm that were going through my bodies. My body. Well, no, my bodies, my physical body and my energy body. So every single time a man said to me how amazing it was to have sex with me, how much fun I was as a lover, I I was always a bit kind of like, that can't be true. A, I'm not beautiful enough, and B, I'm too selfish, and I know that I have a really ugly face when I orgasm, and kind of whatever they said, I kind of dismissed it because I knew deep down I was a guilty failure and they were just being a bit kind. But then one day, I guess I was feeling particularly sassy and confident, and a lover said to me how much fun sex with me was, and he'd said it a few times before, and I said, okay, hold up, what do you mean? Like, I keep hearing this, I've heard this throughout my life, I don't understand, how can this be true? I basically don't know what I'm doing. And his answer completely blew my mind, and it changed my life, and I guess it helped me craft the mission that I'm on now. His answer to me was, you enjoy it. You enjoy it so much that it's utterly delightful and amazing and incredible to be with you. Your pleasure is my pleasure. To which I said, you mean all I have to do to be good at sex is to enjoy it? Really? Yep. I was like, no, that's so easy. Oh my God, I can do this. Boom. It becomes so simple and so obvious when you understand the polarity that's at the heart of heterosexual sex. When the feminine fully receives what the masculine gives, sex becomes more and more abandoned, expressive, authentic. We're literally moving in rhythm with energy pulsating throughout our bodies. And yes, both men and women have masculine and feminine energies within us. And yes, a woman can step into her masculine energy, say, and give a prostate massage. So she's literally giving to the man, and he is stepping into his feminine and receiving. So within any relationship, we can play with polarity, but it's really helpful to understand the fundamental polarity at the heart of our sexual relationships. When women stop themselves from receiving pleasure and compete with men to give, what they're doing is they're curtailing their own incredible orgasmic experience, and they're also curtailing his. Seriously, the path to incredible sex for women in heterosexual relationships is to relax, to surrender, and to receive. So we need to drop the guilt that he's doing all the work. That's his gift. He delights in giving you pleasure. And when he learns to light up your body and make it throb and dance beneath his fingertips, that's when his penis becomes a lingam, literally a shaft of light that has the capacity and the potential to light you up from the inside, gifting you that glow. And this is when he feels truly divine, when he feels like a god. And trust me, there is no greater experience on earth for a man. Experiencing female joy is his reason for existence. And everything else he does, everything he fights for and buys and consumes, everything is a substitute for not having that in his life. The masculine, your man, cannot experience his divine nature until your body sings. If your body lies flat and lifeless, filled with shame, disgust, fear, judgment, criticism, then he's not going to feel the unbelievable delight of riding your orgasmic waves. For far too many women, sex has become an ordeal. It's something we feel obliged to give in return for something else, maybe to keep our men, to stop them straying, or maybe in return for material gifts. By doing this, we're not only denying ourselves the greatest pleasure on earth, we also deny him his. His greatest delight is your pleasure. So of course, we've all been made to hide this power, to not understand this truth. Of course we've been raised to fear our pulsating joy and the delight of our sexuality. Like, how does a materialist capitalist society thrive if we can experience deep pleasure without buying things, right? So of course it matters that we keep this secret suppressed. And I also know it can be utterly exhausting for women to learn that their role is to relax. That may sound counterintuitive, but there's so much fear and shame and shut down around our bodies that the sensation of sexual pleasure can be really frightening for us, and I get that. Sometimes the most challenging thing is to be still and allow ourselves to feel, but we can all learn it. At the deepest level, at your core, you are love. Your original essence is pure, innocent, sexual joy. Life's journey has wrapped layers upon layers of baggage and conditioning, experiences, words, looks, messages. They've all wrapped up this core of sexual innocence. They pile it on and on and on, and around and around and around, until you can barely connect with your original essence. But just like the layers of an onion, they can be peeled away. You can learn new messages about your body. You can learn to feel safe enough in your body to feel the sensation of pleasure again. You can learn to feel energy in your body. You can learn to grow this energy in your body. You can learn to move this energy around your body to grow bigger and wilder and more abandoned orgasms. And you can release all the shame and all the guilt you feel for receiving. You can just get rid of it all and allow yourself to feel so much love and pleasure that you think you're going to burst. If you'd like help in learning how to step into the feminine energy of receiving, I'd love to invite you to book a complimentary call with me. It's completely confidential. It's an opportunity for you and I to get acquainted with each other. So I'm here to guide you, I'm here to help you, I'm here to help you feel that amazing sensation in your body and to surrender and relax and receive. And as ever, if you want to subscribe to my email list so that you never miss one of these videos, the link is in the comments below. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.